Mira and HarlequinAudio present The Summer Retreat by Sheila Roberts, performed by Anne-Marie Gideon. Chapter 1. Celeste Jones had kissed so many frogs looking for her prince, she should have turned green and grown warts on her lips. But she'd finally gotten it right in the man department. Emerson Willis was strong and smart and sexy, masculine and excitingly alpha, and a spectacular dancer. And sexy. And a cop. Did it get any sexier than that? They'd been together a year, and what a great year it had been. He'd spent so much time at her place, he might as well have moved in. But he felt it wouldn't look good, with her being a teacher and all. As if first graders knew anything about the birds and the bees, or cared what their teacher did in her off hours. As if anyone cared what anyone did with anyone else these days. It had been sweet of him to think of that, though, and she loved him all the more for it. Still, why not make what they had official since it was so great? "We're having a good time," he was always saying. "Relax and enjoy the ride." She could do that. Spring had come, and she was looking ahead to a summer of off-roading, trips to eastern Washington to visit the wineries, hitting the shooting range — you had to do that when you were with a cop — and meeting each other's families. Nothing wrong with taking your family along on the ride. But whenever she tried to get him over to her mother's, or suggested a trip to the beach to meet her sister Jenna and her great-aunt Edie, something came up to prevent it. Same with meeting his family. There was always an excuse. His parents were busy. He was busy. He had to work an extra shift. That seemed to happen a lot lately. Was it normal for a police officer to have to pull so many extra shifts? If it wasn't for his reluctance to take things to the next level, Emerson Willis would be perfect. No, he was perfect. He just didn't want to rush into anything. And really, there was nothing wrong with that. Celeste had done her share of rushing, and it hadn't led to anything good. But after all this time, it was hardly rushing to meet the parents. They needed to have a talk, she thought, as she left school late on a Friday afternoon. She and Emerson were planning to hit the gym together. Then he was coming over to her place for pizza and to watch a movie. Before they got lost in movie land, she was determined they'd talk about what was going on in the real world. She stopped by Papa Murphy's and picked up a take-and-bake pizza, then popped into the grocery store for a 6-pack of Hale's Ales, his favorite microbrew, to go with it, along with some salad makings. She was getting into her car when he called on her cell. "Can't hang out tonight, babe," he said. "I feel like shit." "Oh no, what's wrong?" "I think I've got a fever. Maybe it's the flu." Flu in late May? She thought people got that during the winter. "I'm sorry," she said. "And here I just picked up pizza for tonight." "Freeze it." "It's Papa Murphy's." Okay, did that sound like she was trying to guilt him or bribe him into coming over? Yes, she wanted to see him, but she didn't want him to get worse. And while she wanted to see him, she didn't want to see his germs. "I guess I'll bake it and then freeze it. We can have it when you're well." "Whatever," he said. Whatever was right, as if he cared what she was going to do with their pizza when he was sick. "Well, feel better," she said. "Love you, Law and Order." "Back at ya," he said, and ended the call. Back at ya. That was about as close as he ever came to getting mushy. Oh, and he had no problem saying he wanted her, was crazy about her, was into her, but the L word seemed to get stuck in his mouth. A couple of times she tried to teasingly pull it out of him, offering to give him speech therapy. "Repeat after me. Love." He would smile and shake his head and say, "You know how I feel about you." She did. Of course she did. Didn't she? "I'm not sure about this," Celeste's sister Jenna had said when she checked in after Valentine's Day and learned there was still no ring, no proposal, no mention of meeting the family. "Remember, he was married once before," Celeste had reminded her. "He's just cautious. You should understand that." "There's cautious, and then there's taking advantage of a woman," Jenna had said. That was when Celeste had to go. Do something. Anything. Bye. Her sister's words had sounded like what their mother would say, if her mother knew that Celeste and Emerson had hooked up. Months ago. Fortunately, Mom never asked, and Celeste never volunteered the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?